Mike Fisher's been covering the Dallas Cowboys for 30 years. SI.com. He's got a voice on radio in Dallas as well as 105.3 The Fan in Dallas. He talks, people listen, got great insight. But best of all today, he's going to join us live now. He covers the Dallas Cowboys. He's lived in Texas for a long time. And let's bring in Mike via the Cowherd Global Satellite Network. From this point forward on my show, if you cover the Cowboys, if you don't come on my show in a cowboy hat, I am not even interested. This is with a tractor behind him. This is great, Mike. How are you?
It's not my farm. It's not my tractor. It's not even my hat. But yippee-ki-yay, Colin Cowherd.
God, it's so great. I love this. All right, let's start with this. You know, Dak's been given a lot. A well-capitalized franchise, stability, a great O-line, a great running back, good weapons, an offensive-minded coach. Now another one. They offered him 5 years. He wanted 4. Could I make the argument? Even Mahomes didn't get all the money he wants. Brady doesn't get the weapons he wants. Russell Wilson never gets the offensive line he wants. Aaron Rodgers doesn't get the defense he wants. Boy, Dak's been given a lot. They offered him $100 million guaranteed. He should have signed it. Is that a fair criticism?
Yeah, what we've reported for quite some time is $35 million APY over 5 years with $106 million in virtual guarantees or something over that. I never begrudge the player for saying, I want everything I can get. And Dak Prescott here is betting on himself. That's the phrase that he often uses, and he'll use it again this year. Colin, here's the trick here, though, and I'm talking to some people this morning, and I don't know that this is all set in stone yet, but if there's no 2020 NFL season, these franchise contracts toll, meaning they jump ahead and begin again in 2021, which leaves Dak Prescott and others on the tag in financial limbo for this year if there's no games. And then he starts over again with this whole process, not with the 37.7, which would be the second year of a tag. He'd be first year of a tag next year. So not only is he betting on himself, Dak Prescott, he's betting there's going to be an NFL season.
The salary cap's going to come down, obviously, Mike. And the way the salary cap can work, Dak's going to be making a lot of money. If we do have a season and he gets paid $31.5 million, and then next year he'd be guaranteed 20% above that, 37.7, as the salary cap comes down, you start looking at those numbers and go, that is a big number if he's good, not great. Is there an impending divorce? Could you see this thing not materializing 1 year from now? He's out.
Yeah, first of all, to the financial side of it, I know there's some cap people on various teams that don't think it's going to go down because of the COVID-19 lost revenue. They think it'll stay flat. So let's just go with that.
Okay.
Even if it stays flat at $38 million on a cap that's $198 million, I believe that's 20%. Now, there's no magic number that says, oh, this percentage means you can't win. That's not true. But if you're paying 20% to one player, any player, it will mean that you'll have to start throwing people overboard. It'll mean that your guaranteed money, big guys, and the Cowboys have 11 of those, they'll stay, guaranteed money. But the middle class will be out. So you will have a very top-heavy roster. Then you'll have a whole bunch of guys at the bottom who all your draft picks better make the team. They're going to have to make the team because the middle class will be thrown out. To the divorce part of this, certainly it's premature there. Dak Prescott's comments to our friend Jane Slater and others is about positivity. He's blessed. He's grateful. And I believe to a great degree he is. I fear if I'm Cowboys Nation that what's about to happen here, worst case scenario, is what happened to Kirk Cousins and the Washington franchise. Yes, they paid him, kind of. Yes, they liked him, kind of. But it was a semi-commitment from both parties. And I wonder if inside that building it didn't cause players, coaches, scouts, administrators to say, so are we kind of committed to him? Is he kind of committed to us? Do we really have faith in him? And the other thing that can happen is, because Dak Prescott is beloved in this locker room, the other 52 guys, 54 guys, 89 guys could look around and say, now, wait a minute. If the Joneses aren't going to take care of that good soldier, how do I know they're going to take care of me?
Yeah, no, some stuff like this can affect locker rooms. I don't know how much power Mike McCarthy has, but good Lord, Matt LaFleur doesn't have Mike McCarthy's resume, and even he, if you watch the Packers draft, appeared to have enough power to get Jordan Love and not get Aaron Rodgers a wide receiver. So Matt LaFleur looks like he's reshaping the Green Bay offense to be more run-based, less errand-based, and I think McCarthy's got at least that much power in Dallas. Was he banging on the table for Dak? Do I know that?
I don't think you're on point there. You're right about the power. Mike McCarthy has more power here than he ever had in Green Bay, personnel-wise power. This is a we thing here, contrary to Jerry Jones's critics, just like Jason Garrett had a great deal of power. But I think Mike McCarthy is an advocate of this quarterback. That doesn't mean he goes in and says, give him $2 million more. I don't think he did that. I don't think that's his place. But he has, on the record and behind the scenes too, talked about Dak Prescott being a franchise quarterback, a Super Bowl caliber winning quarterback. And Colin, I would argue with you over a beer that Mike McCarthy's probably disappointed. He may have signed on here for the 5-year deal thinking, hey, I got one thing here. I got a quarterback. And now you've kind of got a quarterback.
Yeah. It's funny. I was just laying it out. Indianapolis doesn't pay many people. Chris Ballard is really smart. He pays 3 people. 2 of them are quarterbacks, Brissett and Phillip, and they're both off the books. And if I'm the agent, I'm Todd Archer for Dak. I'm like, listen, that O-line, that defense, that GM, that coach, that looks like to me of the teams that would be looking for somebody and could afford $30+ million. Indianapolis looks really good for Dak and the Colts. Is there another team out there, if you went on the market, that there's parts of it that are attractive?
I think one of the odds makers just put out Jacksonville as a future destination. Now, I don't see it, but again, you bet against odd makers, you end up living in a cardboard box under a bridge. So I don't do that either. I think what the agent Todd France here did was attempt to do the shortest term deal that he found to be realistic. The salary cap is going to explode after the 2022 season, as I'm sure you know, because the TV contract is going to expire. And the new TV contract, maybe driven by Jerry Jones, will go up, up, up. It'll explode upward. Salaries will explode upward. And so Dak Prescott wants a bite of that apple as soon as possible. In that sense, I think the agent Todd France did fine here. Keep this in mind. We're from a certain age, Colin, you and I, not that I would pretend that you're quite my age, when, you better get that guaranteed money because what if you break your neck and you never play football again? That was certainly true in a time when players made $1 million. But if you make $31 million guaranteed and for some reason you blow out a shoulder and never play football again, you have insurance for the rest of your life. So that's another bet on yourself for Dak Prescott. 31 this year, 38 next year. That's $69 million in full guarantees. That's not a bad bet.
But finally, one of the reasons I love going to you and going to reporters around the country is because you can listen to your local sports radio. You're really in the kind of the belly of the beast here. And Dallas Sports Talk Radio is very popular. There's a lot of listeners. One of the cities in America where millions listen. You turn on radio in Dallas today. What are they saying about the Dak Jerry no big long contract? What's the pulse of the city this morning?
Oh, I think there's 2 pulses, one for each wrist. Both of them thinking about slitting themselves. One is Dak's greedy. And listen, when we look at, and this is an oldest trick in the book in talk radio, and you've done it, we've all done it. What about the firemen? What about the teachers? What about I mean, you're right. $31 million is too much for one human athlete to make. At the same time, Jerry Jones is always going to get beat up here, even though he wasn't really the point man. He did get involved late. I think, though, in the end, Colin, there's a certain degree of, if you want to be fair here, that both sides kind of get what they want. The Cowboys can afford Dak Prescott. He's already under the cap at $31 million, and they have $11 million left, so they can do some more things. And Dak Prescott gets to be with his team, his guys, and will get another bite of the apple. So as much as in talk radio or even here, we want to come up with some villain. Who's good? Who's ugly? In fact, they both share the blame for not getting done a deal that they both publicly promised they would get done. Yeah.
All right. So I want you to go calf rope or something and finish your day because you look the part. You just have to do the part, Mike Fisher. And what are you going to do the rest of the day wearing that outfit?
I got some sheriffing to do.
That is funny. The talented Mike Fisher. Thank you very much. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.